Ubisoft Connect sucks. That was originally going to be the beginning and end of this video. I could not play the latest demo of Prince of Persia because to download it you need to connect to the service first. It also seemed like it was the same way on Switch. When the game detects an internet connection and prompts you to log in. However, on Switch, you can simply back away to bypass it. Here's the thing. I have some issues with the game, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Unfortunately, Ubisoft really wants to dig itself into a hole. If you want more proof that the WEF is everywhere, the company is now telling us that we should be getting used to not owning our games. Great, let's just make a small detour first. The game itself is great, or at least above average. I thought that the game didn't elaborate enough on the platforming complexity, but seeing other reviews it does seem to ramp up later. So no problem there. My issue is of course, it's a Ubisoft game. So every NPC of importance is a woman, and in your group of warriors, 2 of them are women. In 500 BC. It's light enough, it's just a crust. It's not more woke than that, at least from what I can gather from the demo. The rest of the game is a decent Metroidvania. It's fast-paced and has good combat. You can easily remember places of interest by taking pictures. You have shortcuts. Pretty much every quality of life improvement made in that genre is here. The rest of my issue mostly stems from this being a demo and not making as great of an impression as Metroid Dread's demo. The game gave you a clear waypoint marker but did not hold you by the hand. You still had to figure your way there while being sometimes chased by the enemies. The moment to moment was more exciting and stimulating because you had to figure out where to go while being chased at the same time, so your mind was almost always busy. Prince of Persia has long moments of nothing. I'm wondering where I'm going and why. When you get to the boss at the end, there's no build-up. It doesn't feel like the rest of the other Metroidvania genre, where I'm navigating towards the epicenter of the storm. It just sneaks up on you when you're already there. It fails at building the impression that I'm moving towards a confrontation or the acquirement of a new skill. The game also had greater production values, varied music for each area, events, and also a greater wealth of curated cutscenes. Lost Ground feels like a really good indie game. One I would see on Steam for $30, I would think it looks interesting, but wait for a sale. The game was clearly a smaller production, but still feels amazing. The problem really centers around the fact that it's a Ubisoft production. On one hand, I don't want to encourage them. On the other, if we buy games like this, we can show what we want as consumers. It's not the bad product that suffers, it's the one that follows after. However, unless you buy a Switch copy, that game has a limited shelf life because of Ubisoft Connect. Everything sucks about Ubisoft. Their copy-pasted game design, anti-consumer practices, and their politics, which they shouldn't have in the first place. Just make games. I could recommend this title. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a breath of fresh air, just like the Jedi games were. Not to the same extent. Maybe more a breath of lukewarm air after journeying in the desert. A good product you would no longer expect from a company that became awful a long time ago. Again, as we saw with Guardians of the Galaxy, it's not the bad games that suffer, and bad decisions don't always affect things immediately. It's the good product that comes afterwards. If that game fails, they're probably going right back to their old habits. Buying it may postpone their march against freedom, but you know it's an agenda. Even if they make good games for a while, they'll be right back to you not owning your games, and you helped funding it.
Naturellement, ça devient, comment dirais-je, intégré dans votre personnalité, mais s'il n'y en a rien à cacher, il ne faut pas avoir peur.